Hello, my name is Tammy Morgan, and I live in Arizona, USA, and I am here to tell you a bit about Samuel Frederick Smith. He's the artist, writer out of London, England, and I want to tell you, I met him back in 2018. It was August 31st, 2018. He had a concert in Glendale, Arizona, and he was playing at the Riva, anyways, it don't matter where he was playing at. So my sister and I went to see him in concert because she had purchased tickets 6 months before, and I was so anxious to go see him. We went to the concert. It was absolutely wonderful at the time. Little behold, did I know what this man was going to do to me, my daughter, who's 11, and my mom and my sister's lives 4 years later. So after the concert, I had started talking to him via his official Instagram, and his management, who was at the time under Universal Records out of London and out of LA, California. They noticed that we were talking and that Sam was getting serious and I was getting serious with each other. So I had to do a survey or questionnaire so they could get little information about me because he's a celebrity and all. So cool, everything was great. That was August, so October he wanted to come down to Arizona to meet me and my daughter. Set up a time, he flew down here. My daughter and I were at the airport. We were there for like 6 hours. He told me he was there. He was obtained by officials, by the TSA, because someone had supposedly put drugs in his luggage. So he had to call his lawyers. They had to fly to Phoenix Sky Harbor Airport. While my daughter and I were there, he was texting me saying that he was being questioned. So my daughter and I had went back. It was only a 20-minute ride, 30-minute drive from the airport to where I stay or was staying. So they had to fly him back to England, so I wasn't able to meet him. So November, we were talking yet. Everything was great. Then we had broken up because he introduced me to a country singer of his, a good friend of his, and wanted me to set him up with somebody. So I tried to do that, and his friend and I were just talking, just getting to know one another a little bit, and Sam found out, and he was mad. They had my phone tapped. They could check my WhatsApp or my Skype or anything I had because I was associated with Sam. They were monitoring everything. That's what that's what the managements do. When somebody's involved with someone, they monitor them just to make sure that their price star isn't going to be stalked or anything like that. I am a good person. I have a good heart, and I would never do that to anybody. Anyways, so we broke up. December, he made the song Dancing with a Stranger. At that time, I didn't know he stole the lyrics to that song, which he's being sued. Anyways, so then he bought a house in Brooklyn. So I was working, saving up all my money. I paid $11,000. So February of 2019, we were supposed to move there. Let me back up a minute. Universal Records knew Sam and I were being serious, so they had sent false airline tickets for me and Drea, my daughter, for my daughter and I to go to the East Coast, Boston or something, to meet up with Sam. Well, that morning I was supposed to fly out with my daughter. I called the airport. They didn't have no names registered or booked for us. So that hurt. All right. So in January, Sam and I got back together, and so we were going to try to make this work. And he had sent a copy of, his secretary had sent a copy of the deed to the house in Brooklyn, New York. And it had his signature / my signature. I've never been in New York in my life. It was forged. My name was forged. So at the time, I'm like, okay. Well, months later came by, and we were still talking and everything, and then he left. what he does is when he breaks up with somebody, he blames the person, the ex. And then he wants all you guys to give him attention because he blames it on the ex. It was not my fault. I didn't do anything. So about 6, 7 months later, 8 months later, he wanted us to get back together. So we got back together, we talked. He's doing his tours. In one of his tours, he'd stopped, he had a break, and so he messaged me and said that he loved me and missed me, and he was anxious to, for us to meet, and he wanted to see his daughter, quote, at the time he called my daughter his daughter. So, and then he had to get back on stage because he was performing, so I thought that was pretty cool. That May, he had sent me 2 dozen roses with a card and candy, London something, some candy from London. It was excellent. I thought that was so awesome. That's the only sweet thing that I ever knew at the time. It was the sweetest thing he's done. At that time, I didn't know all this other stuff. So anyways, we kept talking and stuff, and we ended up breaking up in June or something, or maybe the following August or September, I don't remember. But 6 months later, he wanted us to get back together. He wanted his family. My daughter and I were his family, he said. I'm missing out a lot of stuff in between. So I can tell you, or DM me, and I can tell you everything. I have things I can show you. So in the past year, 2021, up to December of 2021, he's been in Arizona. He laid low for a long time. He made his album Love Goes. The songs on there were personal for him and me. And he stayed here between Sedona, Scottsdale, Arizona, Mesa, Arizona. He was moving every few months. He'd go to a different town, a different city to lay low so nobody would recognize him. Then he went to LA. And in LA, he was doing whatever previous engagements he had. He had sent money. I have lost accounts because of him. I lost my credit is bad because of him. So much stuff I could show you. I have things, personal things, and I can show you that he had me do things for him. This man is nothing but a liar and a cheater, and he blames everything on me, why I caused our breakups. No, I never did nothing. I did everything he asked of me. His pilots were here all that time. They were staying in motels. They'd be watching movies, all that stuff. So Sam Smith is not the person you think he is. He had another side to him. He told me that I'm the only one that he's ever done this for. He had his private jet up at the Sky Harbor Airport and maybe another airport for months and months at a time. That's like $50,000 a month to rent a hangar to keep his jet in there. I was crushed. I was hurt. He promised my daughter many things. His daughter had bought him some stuff. Bought my daughter some... His sister Lily had bought my daughter stuff. Sam promised everything. He bought a house here in Scottsdale for my mom and my sister. He promised my sister a car. If I remember, it was a Nissan Rogue. And then a year before that, he promised me a Range Rover, and he sent me a picture because the person that was driving it from California to Arizona, they had crashed it. He did show me a picture of the car. It was white Range Rover, and it was totally totaled. All these things that he had done broke my heart. I was in such a depression a year and a half between when I started talking to him until 2020, late 2020, during the pandemic. Then he also said he got the Queen's permission that we could fly back to England in an emergency because he's who he is. And all these things, plus more. This man does not keep his promises. So that song, Promises, believe it, he don't keep his promises. He lies. He hurts people. And I have some of his fans that are seeing things that I talk to him about, they don't no longer are his fans, because I'm a true believer in God, and what comes around goes around. Karma's coming. He will eat his words, and he will eat all the hurt and pain he caused my family. And if anybody wants to talk, please do. DM me, use my YouTube. You can, my YouTube channel, you can talk to me there. I'm honest, I'm real, I keep it real, and I hate liars. And I'm just hoping that what he did to us, he gets back tenfold. I'm on Facebook, I'm on Instagram, I have YouTube, my channel I'm just starting up with, but I wanted to pass it on to everybody that this man is a complete jerk. He's stuck up, he's a narcissist, and I love that man with all my heart and soul, and he gave us false hopes. If it was me just alone, I could care less, but when it affected my 11-year-old daughter, who he hurt, who he lied to, I have messages, communications that he sent to her that I could show you. I have a lot of stuff. So if you want to talk, let me know. I tell the truth, and I'm real, and that's all there is to it. And he will get what's coming. Karma is ugly. Take care. God bless. See you on my channel.